Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to Where the Road Rises with me, your host, Eileen Curlin-Walsh. Today, I am excited to have for you to meet Milo, our gorgeous Native American Indian therapy dog, whom Curlin-Walsh Law is currently proud to sponsor. We have his handler, my good friend and fellow Scout parent, Bill Egan, with us, as well as Carol Schuster, who is the president of Rainbow Assisted Animal Therapy, whom Milo works with. Founded in 1987, Rainbow Assisted Animal Therapy is an extraordinary group of people serving the needs of our communities. It's an all-volunteer group who have trained and certified handlers of therapy dogs, and they are devoted to healing lives. Each year, they support almost 40,000 individuals in the Chicagoland area. Their programs are designed to meet the unique needs of each person served using the centuries-old, mutually nurturing relationship between people and dogs. So, you know what they say about working with animals and children, so we're going to see how Milo does. But having attended many events with Milo so far, I know he's just going to behave wonderfully. So welcome. This is Bill. Welcome to the show, Bill. And Carol, hi and welcome.
Hi, Eileen. Thank you so much for having us today. I'm very excited. I love talking about Rainbow and the work that we do.
Beautiful. So tell us about animal therapy and what type of animal therapy program that Rainbow provides.
Sure. There's two general levels of animal-assisted therapy. One is just the animal-assisted activities, which comprises mostly brushing, petting, very low interaction, but very impactful. Lowers blood pressure, reduces your stress hormones, reduces heart rate, it gets people very relaxed. The other type of therapy encounter, which is the one that we specialize in, is animal-assisted intervention therapy, which the way to explain it is a physical therapist or a doctor or a teacher sets a goal for the patient or student, and it's our job to come up with an activity that involves this beautiful dog to reach the goal for that person. So an example would be the best way to explain this. So Milo helps patients improve their mobility, fine motor, and gross motor. So Bill is going to have Milo, he's going to hold a treat right in front of Milo's nose and stretch his arm around like this. And we'll show you, and Milo will show you. Bill, you want to show with Milo?
Milo, sit.
So,
Milo, take it. Come around. It's a little hard, but come on.
this is easier to do when the person is standing up.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So, but even so, even though Milo's clearly following the treat in his hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you watch, Bill's arm is going around and around like this. So for a patient that has had a stroke and has to practice moving their arm, this is gross motor work. And it's fine motor work to hold on to that little treat while you're doing this. So that people say, oh, it's a trick, the dog is going in circles. No, it's therapy. So that is what our therapy work is like.
Thank you. And what kind of places do you visit?
Oh, we visit such a huge variety of places because we're all over the Chicagoland, almost as far north as the Wisconsin border, way south down to here, and western suburbs as well. So we go to hospitals, we go to schools, we're at, we do a lot of read to the dog programs, we do dog safety presentations, just about every setting, and then we do some corporate wellness visits as well.
Lovely. And does your organization train the dogs to assist?
We do. We do the dog training. We ask people to come to us with a dog that already has their basic skills down. They need to know how to lay down and be still, which Milo, you're doing a great job. So they need to be able to be calm, and they need to love to be pet. And that they'll tolerate somebody touching their ears. They'll tolerate somebody touching their ears, touching their back and their tails, and all of that works for them.
And why did I ask Bill if any dog can be a therapy dog, and can anyone become a Rainbow Therapy team?
Well, I'm not quite sure if any and every dog can do it, but they certainly should try. I mean, actually, Milo, his breed is somewhat unusual, and he's a Native American Indian dog, and he was bred by the Indians, and they reestablished his breed a few decades ago, and he's a very independent dog. Therefore, he's a very difficult dog to train.
Yes.
Because he wants to be in charge all the time. Like right now, he wants his treat, so he's bugging me for a treat, so we'll give him. But you gotta work for it.
So tell us about your experience with Rainbow and how you got involved and how it's been for you.
Well, after he went through his basic training, we actually started with another therapy dog school up on the north side. And then we found out through Christ Hospital that they only deal with Rainbow because they were the best. So we started to look into Rainbow. We signed up, and we had an incredible experience with training, with his certification process, and we were actually out in training just yesterday. Okay, Milo, you're getting excited. Don't do that.
So we offer not just the basic training to get the dogs to the therapy work, but also ongoing training for our teams to keep their skills strong.
Yeah.
Stop it.
And what do you look for in a dog to determine if it'll be a successful therapy dog?
Certainly,
Carol?
that's a really good question. Temperament is key. So again, the dog has to be responsive to its owner and yet also be responsive to other people. Some dogs are so attached to their own owner that they can't work for someone else. So they have to be able to work with the other participants. They have to have patience. And they have to be willing to work around other dogs. They really need to be dog friendly as well as people friendly.
Yeah, that's interesting. And if someone has a dog that they believe has those qualities, what would be the first step to join Rainbow with their dog?
So once their dog is a year old and has all of its shots, they can come to us and take our intro to animal assisted therapy class to learn more about it and to learn some of the skills. They should already have all their, like I said before, all their obedience skills down. The sit, the walking gently on a leash, they're not pulling their person into the room.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Yeah.
All right. And Bill, do you want to show us, since Milo is feeling a little frisky, do you want to show us a couple of his tricks? So when Bill has come with Milo to some of my corporate events, my clients love working with Milo, and they love to see these little tricks that Bill is able to do with him. So why don't we let him show off a little bit?
So what we do is, especially when we work with kids, 8th grade, early high school kids, the interaction and the chance to work with a dog like Milo, you know what this is all about. And what we do is we let them use this glove, and these kids love to do this with the dogs. So we teach them to make a fist, put the glove on. Milo, back up. Back up. Take it.
Boy.
But watch him, he rips it off my hand, and he likes to just pull it off. He got me a little bit. And yeah, want to do it again? How about if we have Eileen do it? Just make a fist.
Oh.
And leave it hanging off the edge so he doesn't accidentally grab your hand.
Take it.
Ooh, there you go, good boy. He wants a treat for that. So you've told me a little bit about the places, Carol, that that Rainbow provides therapy for. But I understand Rainbow dogs need to have special training to visit hospitals. Is that correct?
That is correct. We have a 3-part hospital training, and the first part is being familiar and comfortable around medical equipment. So wheelchairs, walkers, that type of thing, to practice. A lot of times when we do, even in a hospital, and of course in a physical therapy session, we'll have the dogs walk with somebody with their walker. And I have a smaller dog who works as well, and when Eve is working in the hospital, the OT is like, this person is not walking, can you bring the dog in? And we bring the dog in, and I had a lady who was sitting in her hospital bed refusing to get up and use the walker, and they said, well, Eva will visit with you if you stand up with the walker. Bam, she stood right up. So it's a huge motivational thing.
And how does somebody from the community request the therapy dog? So if they're having a community event, how would they have someone like Milo come visit, or Eva, and what sort of costs are involved?
So for a community event, Rainbow's happy to come. The best way to reach us is to go to our website, www.rainbowaat.org, and go down to go to the info section or request a program. And our program coordinator would get back to them and set it up. We have lots and lots of requests, and we try to fulfill as many as we can. But we do even have a waiting list for some of our hospitals that want to get back on board post-COVID. We said, well, we don't have enough teams in your area right now. And they said, that's fine. We said, well, we can refer you to another. No, we will wait. 18 months, we said, because the hospital training program also requires our people to go to the simulation center and learn to be in the hospital. It takes a long time.
Yeah, also says a lot about your organization and your training and your reputation.
Thank you.
When they're prepared to wait for you, Carol. So let's talk about corporate events. So if any of my fellow business owners want to sponsor a gorgeous animal like Milo, or if they just want to have someone like Milo come up for a corporate event, how would they go about something like that?
We love corporate events because, for two reasons. One, it's a good training exercise for our newer people because it's a little less stressful and it's a little easier on the dogs. So we like that. And it teaches them to work in an unusual environment. So that's great. And then two, the other corporate events help pay the bills, keeps the lights on. Because we are a 501c3, we don't have government funding, and so the corporate events are great. Again, go to the website, rainbowaat.org, and go to request a program, and that's where they can fill that out, and we'll get back to them.
Lovely. Bill, anything you would want to say about your experience, now that Milo has settled a little again, about your experience working with Milo and working with Rainbow, and anything you'd want to tell our viewers? And since we already know from what Carl just told us that there's a shortage of teams, maybe you could encourage someone who might have an appropriate animal to get involved.
Well, one thing that really stands out that I experienced with Rainbow is their main concern is the safety of the dog. I mean, the program coordinator, she's constantly after me to make sure that we're taking good care of Milo and he's not getting overworked, overstressed. And they're very, very, very careful about that. And actually, that's one of the reasons why Christ Hospital will only work with Rainbow, because of the way that they work with their teams and especially the dogs.
Yes.
So even the training, if there's an organized training skills class, if it's too hot, they'll cancel it. If the weather's not right for the dogs, they're not so much worried about us. They're worried about the doggies. So that really, really impressed me. And actually the commitment of the trainers, when we went from one training school to another over to Rainbow, I was just blown away with the difference that they treated the dog over the handlers. And the other places, it was the other way around. They wanted to see what the handlers could do and not so much what the dogs would do. And it's so true that the dogs will respond. They do. And like I said earlier, any dog could probably try it, but it's a big commitment for the handler and the family and the dog to be involved in this kind of work. And it's been exciting for me. We had a dog like Milo before, our first dog, and he was a rescue dog. And we never heard of a Native American Indian dog. And the place where we had him boarded over on Southwest Highway, Positively Heaven.
Yes.
Little plug. And
we love Positively Heaven.
She researched him, our other dog, his name was Charlie, and found out that he was most likely a Native American Indian dog. So then when I retired and we had to let Charlie go, I said, if we get another dog, we're going to work him. Yes. And I started to see the commercials with the therapy dogs in the hospitals, and I thought, oh, that looks so cool. Yeah. Little did I know how much work it would take to do that the right way. And we do it the right way at Rainbow.
Yeah.
And people don't understand how much stress it is on a dog. We allow our dogs to work only 60 minutes, and that's an international gold standard for therapy dogs. And the reason is, when Milo walks into a room, even a corporate event, he's checking everybody's hormones and pheromones. Are you stressed? Are you the one he needs to be next to? Maybe it's that person over on the other side of the room. They are checking everybody they see. So it's not just the patient in the bed in the hospital. We'll see maybe 8 patients, 10 patients in an hour. That's the most we can get to. But the nurses walking the hallway, the public safety people when we check in, all of those people, this dog is checking on emotionally.
Yeah. And I think also, Carol, it occurs to me, he's such an unusual dog, as all of your dogs are. Everyone's stopping to look and pat too, so there would be constant interaction with anyone who sees him, not just the people who's come to heal.
Yeah.
And it occurs to me also, we have so many vulnerable community members that to be able to have this very, very special animal offer them therapy and comfort and healing is just so important. So I love what you do, and I'm delighted to sponsor Milo and to be able to have this experience. Anything, and we're very aware of Milo's time, so I'm not going to keep him too much longer in the studio, but how about if you tell us anything in closing that you would like to tell our viewers?
I want to share Nursing Management recently, the magazine, did a study of the literature on pet therapy in the hospitals. And they talked about all of the effective ways the dogs are helping. But I think that this will demonstrate to your viewers the difference between it's being a game and play and being real therapy. So I'm going to give you these. I'm going to give you these hair clips.
There you
go. All right, and I'm going to ask you to put them down Milo's back.
Okay, Milo.
Okay.
We're going to go. 1.
So the case study, there was a patient who had a total hip replacement.
We're going to go 3.
And they asked him to stand up holding on to the edge of a table. And he said, I can hardly do this. And he stood for 10 seconds and had to sit down. What's your pain level? It's a 9 out of 10.
Give me your paw.
They brought in a golden retriever, somebody fuzzy like this guy, and had the golden retriever go up on the table and lay down and asked the person to pet the dog and comb it. He was able to stand for 5 minutes. So we went from 10 seconds to 5 minutes. Took a break. Then they handed him hair clips like you just did for Milo. And they gave him 50 hair clips, one at a time, and said, put them down the dog's back. And then they said, take them off. And anytime he wanted to, he could rest up against the table. They asked him at the end, when he sat down, how long do you think you stood? And he said 10 minutes. And the nurses said, you have been standing for 25 minutes. What's your pain level? It's a 2.
Yeah.
So 25 minutes of therapy with the dog. So that's comfort level of petting was 5 minutes, but therapy was 25. And that's what we want, that's what we try to specialize in.
I think that says it all. That's a beautiful illustration, Carol. So thank you, Carol, for being with us. And Bill, as always, a delight to be with you, and to our star of the show, Milo. And thank you, viewers, for watching. It is we've had a long history together, viewers, and I know that you are a bunch of dog lovers. So if you have a community or a corporate shindig, consider inviting Rainbow Therapy dogs there. You can always, Carol has told you how to get a hold of them, or you can always contact me and I will get you in touch with Bill and Carol. And I can tell you from personal experience, these adorable animals will add novelty, excitement, warmth, and healing to your event and make it more memorable. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time on Where the Road Rises. Goodbye.